It's kind of cliche that people should have balance in their life, but I think the perception around what they think balance is just run at a really high intensity. Personally, the kind of things that I use for balance or trying to maintain balance is this constant search for personal mastery. And I have to thank, the universe works in different ways, but I have to thank specific other people that have come into my lives who have questioned that, where I've said, I'm going to search for this. I'm going to search for what is the meaning of, what's the purpose of, us being here on this very second. And I think when you start asking those questions, you start seeing that time is ticking. And if time is ticking, what are you spending your time on in terms of judgments, greed, and all those the things that can be downgrading exactly your thoughts and your processes? That slows people up. And then they get these enlightenments of, vitality and good perception and things roll, and they believe that is balance, but that's not balance. So balance is trying to detach yourself from the lows and the highs and understand that this search for personal mastery, understanding that you may not be here tomorrow, allows you to prioritize everything that should be important for balance. My name is James Fitzgerald. My business is Optimum Performance Training, and I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona. Throughout my youngest age that I can remember, I was involved with hockey. I can remember my parents giving me a hockey stick and putting the blades on and lace up the skates and push a little piece of wood around in the ice rink back in Wabush on a freezing day, and just that day forward thinking that what that was called, it's called sport, being a huge part of my life. And then, I can remember that, singular moment, and then a million moments after that are all the same kind of idea, these, undulating, continuous feelings of euphoria and emotion around scoring goals and bumping with your buddies and, winning games and losing games and turmoil and things like that, to high school where I hated school and I couldn't wait for the day to be over to train for the sports I was participating in. Being in a small community and having the ability for me to participate in numerous different sports made me a jack of all trades, where I was able to do a bunch of different sports and be good at them into even adulthood, and I guess coming into CrossFit and understanding this idea around trying to be good at a whole bunch of things and well-roundedness. There's some moments through winning the CrossFit Games and also specific workouts that I can go back and I tell people about, that it felt like after I was done those certain events, I could walk away from everything, where you've had that, it's such a high peak that you believe there's nothing else. And there's, besides, I've had a million of them, and they all felt the same, just like putting on the skates when I was a kid, which has led into my development of coaching and my philosophy on coaching and life in general, in terms of experiences, and that roundedness and balance is ingrained in my system. It's allowed me to create that, what I'm trying to teach everyone else in terms of roundedness in fitness and the importance of that. I think that some people may struggle with trying to create life's balance because they are attaching judgment to their day-to-day performance or their search for what is the purpose of all things. And I think when you start asking those questions, you go down a really scary road, because you start asking things like, who am I, and what is my purpose here, and what's the real reason for me to be here and doing my job and doing the things that I do. Is it a father? Is it a strength coach or whatever? And when you start asking those questions, if your perceptions have changed throughout your life that make you realize that when you ask those questions there's not much there, that's a very scary proposition to have. So when they find out who they are, it creates balance. And I think that for whatever reason it is, there is a lot more trouble today in trying to find that balance. And that's what my job is, to try to teach people about that, teach coaches to teach other people as to what that means, both in athletics and in life.